which are more for relaxation, stress relief, things like that. As far as like a severe discipline, I typically use spanking.
Well, I'm either lying on my belly or I'm just bent over his knees. He'll fondle my behind, my back, my upper thighs. Then he'll get, a paddle, a ruler, the back of a hairbrush. Give me a gentle spanking, because I've been a very bad girl. I deserve it.
You got to learn it from the bottom to the top. So if you want to be a dominant, you have to understand how it is to be a submissive first. And please, take my advice and walk that path. And I did. I definitely took that path, and I walked down it. And from the bottom to the top, I found my way. And I realized that what he was expressing to me was something that was really, really important, which was that I'm really only going to be capable of doing what has already been done to me.
We use everything from timeout time to over-the-knee spankings, floggers, paddles, ping pong paddles, rubber bands.
Sometimes I'll be in a bratty mood and I'll act really disrespectful, and sometimes I'll take a caning, which would be stand up and bent over, and I'm belted that way also.
I've never gotten her really to the point of bleeding. She's been, the first time that she was disciplined, she severely marked. She was very bruised. But after that, she kind of just stops marking. When you're spanked regularly, on a weekly basis, your skin heals over to a point. I mean, she's got a perfect bubble butt now, so it's definitely something that your skin gets used to it and you stop marking. So, and it's happened with other girls I've seen on a regular basis too. So now I can spank her as hard as I want, and she's not going to mark for more than maybe 10, 15 minutes, and she's right back to completely uncolored.
The first night I went out there, right when we got to the house, I was disciplined for smoking and for procrastinating, and he made me write out a full paper about what I need to be disciplined for and stuff I did in my past that I should have been held accountable for. So I did that, and we recorded my first spanking session, and it was very severe. My bottom was black and blue, and he had only used his hand. And it hurt a lot, but it really did open my eyes to a whole new scene.
Oh goodness, you can use anything anymore. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of people that go out and go to like places like Stockroom or anywhere online, sex stores, and buy those type of things. We take our little butts to the 99-cent store and walk those aisles and go, what can we make? It's way more fun. I definitely get turned on with pain. I have a very high pain threshold. I'm actually known for that. I do spanking videos.
Communication is key. I mean, it's very important. If you feel that you're done wrong, you as a dom still need to make sure that you communicate that you might have to your submissive. There's nothing wrong with that. You need to have that open communication. If you don't, figure out your rights from your wrongs, you learn nothing.
Yes, I do like pain. Nothing, no hitting in the face, but like you can hit my ass as hard as you can. It's nice.
Turn this way so everyone can see how well you take these spots.
It's not about fucking. It's about something else. And, we're tapping into more deeper levels of sacred sexuality. Yes, when your parents were fucking, it was sacred sexuality. That's why we were given life. But when you honor your desires in a healthy and loving, fun-loving kind of way, and in an educated kind of way, then safe, sane, and consensual, But when you honor yourself and your desires in that way, who gives a fuck what anybody thinks? I don't care what anyone thinks about me. It's how do I feel about me?
Some of it has gone into, kind of went into our sex life a little bit, but I think it's all about mindset, because when I'm being disciplined, I'm not turned on, and I don't like to be disciplined. I like I like thinking that I'm good, you know, and feeling like a good girl. But somehow it has leaked into our sex life, but we can keep them separated.
The craziest thing so far we've done is Halloween. A friend of us called us up and he goes, listen, I want to do a scene with you two. And he goes, it has to do with meat. That's all he told me.
We were doing this crazy schoolgirl competition. We said, it was open to both boys and girls. And on an impromptu, I took my wife's outfit, threw it on me.
I was in the Nadu position, which is legs wide, knees, and I had my hands behind my head. And literally, I'm sitting there as they're taking out the meat from the truck, and it's a rack of ribs, wads of meat in a bucket, and a cow tongue. No joke. And I literally get beat with meat.
And there was a lot of cheers. There's a lot of hooting and hollering. It was very well done, and there's video out there. And yeah, well, it's a good thing my mom and dad know what I do.
I also do I'm into rope suspension, shibari style, which is basically getting suspended in ropes and dangling in the air, like a damsel in distress type thing, or I like to think of it as like a burlesque in ropes. And so I'm a rope bottom for that type of performance, usually for stage performances. And I really, really enjoy it a lot.
I had a friend that was into cuckolding, and that sparked my interest into the fetish world. So I got online and started searching more about fetish and kinky play. And came across an ad in LA Weekly about Sanctuary. So here I am learning about BDSM.
Getting whipped turns me on more, and also spanking, like with the hand, no toys, no anything, just straight on spanking with the hand. I like the what do you call it? After the spanking, you feel this tingle, yeah.
When you think of spanking in the scene, you think of older people. You think of, people who've been through life. And there is a whole generation of younger people who are just afraid to come out, so to speak, with their interests because they think they're going to be judged for it, or they think there's going to be some sort of backlash. So I put it out there that I'd start seeing people who needed help with discipline, who needed help with issues they were having. And I slowly got a very big response and started having people fly out to see me. So they'd stay at my house. These were people I had never talked to, never met, but they'd fly out from Florida, New York, and they'd pay me for the sessions that I do to help them.
Being a plus-sized woman, I've always been larger. So he was assisting me in seeing my own beauty from different ways. And I am very appreciative of the things we did to give me a better self-image.
I'm not out to hurt anybody. I'm not out to make somebody cry unless, simply they want to cry. I mean, there's always that. Dacrophilia is one of my finishes that I do love.
A big thing with ours is set expectations. I'm still, I guess, learning that role because I'm really bad at that. If you're going to say you're going to be somewhere sometime, do it. It's simple stuff, as if you're a child, honestly. It's simple things, but it's things that help me. And sometimes I think adults need to be punished. It's just my personal opinion.
But it's not ever intentional. Everything that I ever do or anything that I ever impose onto anybody was with strict trust and consensual states is always there.
And that's why I like being a sub, is because I knew that there were still things that I needed to learn about myself. And he's 11 years older than I am, so it kind of falls into that I can learn from him, and we kind of learn from each other, so it's nice.
Respect is a big thing in the household. There's a lot of different issues that come up that she would get in trouble for.
Most of the time we stick to over-knee, depending on the severity.
I definitely love doing it in my job. I get the choice of doing it every now and then, but living it as a lifestyle, probably not my thing.
Like I've had personal slaves that have lost family members or loved ones, and had to go out of town to take care of, the funeral and whatnot. And when they came back into town, they were just a mess, and I was like, okay. And after about 3 or 4 hours of being, hog-tied and fucked in the ass and whatever, afterwards they were like, thank you. I feel much better now. All right.
When she does break the rules that we've set, typically it's very straightforward. I mean, a lot of the times it's just a hand spanking, which would just be, every spanking that we give in our household is typically bare bottom. It's never really a variation of that. So it's usually over the knee with hand. If it's something really bad, we've got the cane that we use, or we have a variety of paddles and straps and things like that. So it really just depends on the infraction, but it always ends up with her bare bottomed with a very red butt.
My daily life right now is pretty simple. I wake up, I get my daily spankings. It's how I start my day. it's what makes me happy. It's literally, I bend over his knee and he gives me my swats, and we go throughout our day. It's literally exactly kind of how you read in the book. I mean, it's you live a daily life. You just kind of add these extra ins and outs into your daily life, and it makes things not boring. It really does, and it keeps you on your toes. And that's what I enjoy, because I think just waking up, going to work, coming home, sleeping with your husband, and going to bed, it's so boring. So make it, splash some stuff into it. I make sure when he comes home from work, he's got food on the table, his whatever he needs by his couch is there. It's there for him. He can decompress when he comes home, and he takes care of me in return. So where people see me as being a submissive, I just see myself as being a good partner.
A good slave is always never standing up higher than their top or their dominant. They're always beneath them, so that we're always looking down at them. A collar, a slave is usually collared, and or chastity, perhaps chastity. Get into chastity and let your husband be the key holder. That's, to me, is just as special as a wedding ring.
I want the person that I'm with to enjoy what they're doing, and I personally get off on their enjoyment.
He kind of talked to me at the beginning, and it was more of it felt like a scolding. He was scolding me about and telling me, why I was being spanked, why I'm in trouble, and it wasn't anything sexual. Before I was spanked, I felt guilty for the things I've did and why I shouldn't do the things I do, and then I was spanked, and it hurt a lot, but then after, it was like I felt so much better, like I was disciplined for what I did wrong, and I deserved that, and I needed that, and then it was like a release for me, and I felt much better after.
I think it's the feeling that you get from doing it. I think I've always had a kinky side, but my partners have not, so I've been not able to explore and try out new things. And now once I have been here and I'm able to, I think it's a lot different. I'm able to experience things and tap into things that I wasn't able to before.
I bite, I scream, I yell, I pinch, I torque, I spit, scream. Did I say scream? I kick. Yeah. And that's just foreplay.
I bring any toys, and one of my favorites. Shall I show them to you? Oh, one good friend got me the slave collar. It's something to wear. Sometimes we worn it at restaurants just to be fun. It has a little loop to attach the leash to. It just shows that in this scene, I'm owned by somebody. I'm the slave and he's the dom.
I corrupted all of my vanilla friends. I got bored with them and started seeking the nightlife, looking for more of it. And I found it. And I hung out in the scene, I guess, in the fetish community for a couple of years.